Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Everything Fashion. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope your month is coming along great. Actually, today is our voting day. Yeah, that's right, August 9th. And I hope you guys have voted for change. And I also hope that after voting, we are all going to maintain peace. Let us accept the next president and move forward to building a better country. Today I am going to be talking about what it takes to become a successful fashion designer, or rather, what it takes to build a successful career in the fashion industry. So stay tuned, and if you're a fashion lover or if you hope to become a fashion designer, please make sure to learn something. And I hope that the information I will be giving you will be helpful in your careers and maybe in other parts of your life as well. Welcome and feel at home. To my returning subscribers, thank you very much. And if you're new here, feel loved. And please remember to subscribe. Let's get right into it. At number one, we have creativity. So, as a fashion designer, you are supposed to be super creative. This is because it is expected of you to continually come up with new, original, creative, and exciting fashion ideas. So, as a fashion designer, you have to be super creative to ensure that you have the ability to continually come up with new ideas, original ideas, and fashion exciting ideas. A fashion designer who can do this ensures that their products stand out in the market. And this is very good for them because the fashion industry is very competitive. And if your products do not stand out, it might be difficult for you to make a successful designer. So you have to be super creative to ensure that whatever products you make stand out in the market in order to make those sales that of course make a successful design. Moving on, we also have business skills. Okay, business skills. So most fashion designers are self-employed. It is therefore very vital, okay, very very vital, that as a self-employed fashion designer you at least have the basic skills of business, things like planning, marketing, budgeting, promotion, just the basics of business. It is very important because you'll be in charge of everything, overseeing the business and making sure that your products go out there. That is if you do not have a team working around you, but also it would be just it would be great, I mean, if you had the skills yourselves. And of course, if you have an in-depth knowledge of business, it is even a bigger plus for you, because as much as fashion is all about creativity, it is also about business, making money and everything, business. A fashion designer should at least have the basic fashion skills. Any great or successful fashion designer, I believe, was once very competitive and with a great eagerness to succeed. So that is our next point. A fashion designer should be competitive with a great eagerness to succeed. So a competitive spirit is very good for somebody who wishes to succeed in something, more so in the fashion industry that is fast paced and very competitive. I'm telling you guys, the fashion industry is very competitive. So for one to succeed, you have to be very very passionate about your job, and you also have to be willing to push yourself and to continually strive to do better than your competition, better than what you did yesterday. Just try to continually do better. So this kind of enthusiasm, of course kujituma, like always, can help distinguish you in the fashion industry and can of course take you places. So if you want to be a fashion designer, make sure you are very extremely passionate about it. Okay, so next, to become a successful fashion designer, you have to be detail oriented. Okay, you have to be detail oriented. So, what does this mean? It means that you're supposed to have a very a good eye for details, a good eye for the smallest, the slightest of details. Why is this? Because details are very, very critical in the fashion industry. They are what decides whether a fashion item is going to be a success or it's going to be a failure. So, as a fashion designer, you have to be detail oriented and have a good eye for details. So these details are things like color, line, stitching, patterns, different things that make the whole garment. So a fashion designer, are you supposed to be very keen on the details to make sure that everything comes into place nicely to create a beautiful item, an item that can sell in the market. Any great fashion designer should know the basic sewing skills in the list. Okay, any great fashion designer should in the list know how to sew, how to use the sewing machine comfortably, and how to sew by hand. It is not a crucial, like you don't have to know how to do it to be a fashion designer, but any great fashion designer at least knows how to do this, because sewing is like the backbone of fashion. And if you don't know how to do it, are you really a fashion designer? So in as much as it is not a must, it is also very crucial to making a successful fashion designer. So if you don't know how to sew yet, please try and learn how to do it. It adds a plus to you as a fashion designer. Okay, so you guys learn how to sew. So, as a fashion designer, also you're supposed to have great visualization skills and sketching skills. Why is this? Because a fashion designer's ideas mostly exist in their mind. So, if you have an idea for something, it is in your mind. So, as a fashion designer, you're supposed to have the ability to express it well to others so that they can also get your vision. And sketching will be a very good way to do this. So if you have good visualization skills and you are a great sketch artist, the better for you. And going with this, it is also good for a fashion designer to be good at computer aided designs. Okay, there are several programs that enables a designer to use a computer to illustrate their fashion ideas. So it is also a very big plus for any designers, for any designer who knows how to use these kind of programs and softwares, because they are able to bring out the image better or bring out the idea better than sketching, of course, unless you're a great sketch artist. But computer aided design, I hardly doubt you have to like be a very good artistically. So knowing how to use these programs and the different softwares and working around with different graphics is a very big plus for you as a designer. So also, if you do not know how to use these programs and you are hoping to become a successful fashion designer, it is about time you start educating yourself about them. So another major one is a fashion designer should have an in-depth knowledge of fabrics. This is very critical because our fabrics are our main tools in the fashion industry. Without fabrics, I don't know how we'll be able to operate. Not that we will not be able to operate, but it will be a tad difficult. So fabrics are our main tools. They are what we use to make those amazing items. And as a fashion designer, it is critical that you have an in-depth knowledge of these fabrics. Knowing how to select and knowing how to manipulate variety of fabrics is critical to the success of a fashion designer. So a fashion designer is supposed to understand the different fabrics, different textures, different patterns, the different colors, and how they work together. A fashion designer is also supposed to know the challenges of working with different types of fabrics and the ethical production of the fabrics. Yani, a fashion designer should just educate themselves wholesomely on fabrics and textiles. Okay? Some fashion designers even go ahead to create their own fabrics, their own pattern fabrics, and that, I tell you, my friends, goes a long way to making them popular and famous and, maintaining their brand or giving their brand a specific feel. So you don't know if you do this right, you just might have your own fabrics. You don't have to use the old monotonous fabrics found in Isli and Nairobi textiles. You can come up with your whole brand of fabrics. Exciting, right? So yeah, make sure you get the knowledge on fabrics. So a fashion designer is also expected to be up to date with all the fashion trends and also be very flexible. So as I said, fashion is fast paced and it is continually changing, and things are changing, styles are changing. So as a fashion designer, you are supposed to be updated on what's going on in the fashion industry, and you're also supposed to be flexible enough to adapt the fashion trends and make sure that whatever you're making is going along with the current trends. Of course, unless you're making classic wear, but any smart fashion designer knows to keep up with the fashion trends. So another important one is communication. Communication and interpersonal skills. So as a fashion designer, when you decide to become a fashion designer, you will find yourself working with different professionals, models, clients, photographers, editors, just a whole lot of different professionals. So you are expected to know how to relate with different people in the industry. That is also very critical, because if you're able to build your connections well, your brand gets a higher outreach. So you're also supposed to know how to communicate well and communicate clearly to your team to ensure that your vision and whatever you're creating and any particular project goes well. So, with poor communication and poor interpersonal skills, it might be a bit difficult for you to become a successful fashion designer, because you might end up losing clients, you might end up losing big deals because of bad communication, or I hope you understand. So make sure to know how to communicate clearly and know how to interact well with people. So other characters that make a great and successful fashion designer include things like time management, ensuring that you're doing your projects on time. You're supposed to be a team leader, because you will often be working with a team. Maybe you're trying to visualize something into existence. You're also supposed to be a good team player, because you will be working with different people. So there's artistic ability, a great sense of style, and last but not least, being a good decision maker is also a good character you can have as a fashion designer. So, guys, that is it for today. I hope that you've had, and if you're hoping to become a successful fashion designer, make sure to do the above things, and you can also research more on the different ways you can become a successful fashion designer. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope this information has helped you. If you're yet subscribed, please make sure to do so, and see you in my next video.